9 friends, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, and U, are living in a same building of 9 floors, counting from 1 to 9. Ground floor is numbered 1 and so on. They all are working in different companies among Pepsico, HMT, TCS, Wipro, Cognizant, Hindustan, Unilever, Patanjali, HCL, and Infosys, but not necessarily in the same order. And then it says there are 3 floors between M and U who works in Cognizant and so on. So basically, it's about arranging 9 people on a 9 floor in a 9 floor building and finding out the company that they work for. So only 2 attributes that we have are 9 friends and 9 different companies. Now looks like a simple one, but the understanding is that it will give us a lot of possibilities. So let's all try it out. Okay, here we go. So I've got some space to try out multiple possibilities there. See what happens. So if you just read through, we know the friends are M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, and U, and there are 9 floors counting from 1 to 9. Ground floor is numbered 1 and top floor is numbered 9. Now there are 9 different companies: Pepsico, HMT, TCS, Wipro, and so on. Look at the clues given to us. Right? There are 3 floors between M and U who works in Cognizant. There are 3 floors between M and U who works in Cognizant. I think first and foremost, let me. So what we shall do here is convert all these clues given to us in English statements into pictorial, in some form of pictures, so that it's easy to refer to. So read this clue. There are 3 floors between M and U who works in Cognizant. So between M and U, there are 3 floors. So let's say M, 3U. This understanding is that M and U will have 3 floors between them. And by the way, U works in Cognizant. U works in Cognizant. Okay. Next, T works in TCS and lives immediately above the floor on which M lives. T, who works in TCS, lives immediately above M. It is works in Wipro. S works in Wipro. So only 1 floor between T and S. Only 1 floor between T and S, and S works in Wipro, right? R works in HMT and lives below the floor on which S lives. Now, this has to be understood carefully, right? R works in HMT and lives below the floor on which S lives. This means R lives below S, but is it immediately below? No. Remember, he has not explicitly mentioned that R lives immediately below S. Like in the earlier statement, he says T works in TCS and lives immediately above M. But here he says R works in HMT and lives below S. Below S could be immediately below, 2 floors below, 3 floors below, 4 floors below, and so on, right? So R works in HMT is for sure, but lives below S. So, R comes somewhere below S, right? And R works in HMT, by the way. Now these dots here indicate it could be any number of floors between R and S. R does not live on an even number floor. R does not live on an even number floor. Meaning, what are the possibilities for R? 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. Yes or no? There are 9 floors, 9 friends or 9 floors. And if R is not on an odd, even number floor, it has to be an odd number floor. And I think R cannot be a 9th floor. R cannot be a 9th floor. Out of 1, 3, 7, 5, 7, 9, R cannot be a 9th floor because R lives below S. If somebody is below someone, that first person cannot be on the topmost floor, right? So R will not be on 9th floor. So now the possible choices for R are 1, 3, 5, or 7, right? There's only 2 floors between R and Q who works in Pepsico. Only 2 floors between R and Q who works in Pepsico. Again, important point. R and Q have 2 floors between them, and Q works in Pepsico. Q works in Pepsico, right? N works in HCL and lives below the floor on which R lives. Again, similar to the earlier statement, right? N works in HCL but lives below the floor on which R lives. Below R. Now, below R could mean anything, right? Immediately below, 1 floor below, 2 floor below, and so on. So all we can say is N. I think I can club with the previous one, right? See, we know that R lives below S. Now it says N works in HCL and lives below R. So if I combine, it would be like this. N comes somewhere below R. So I'll do one thing. I'll erase this part here. N comes here. N works in HCL. So the sequence of S, R, N should be this. S should be above R, R should be above N. Right? And by the way, the floors for R are 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. We had already cancelled 9 because R cannot be the top floor and R cannot be first floor also. See, R is between S and N. R is between S and N, right? So R can either take third floor or fifth floor or seventh floor. He cannot take first floor or ninth floor, because if he takes first floor, N is not available in the building. N will not be taking any position, and if he's on ninth floor, then S cannot come in the same building. Okay, by the way, S does not live on ninth floor. S does not live on ninth floor, so make a note of it. S is Wipro again, we know that already from the previous statement, and S does not live on ninth floor. S does not live on ninth floor. So what are we trying to do? I mean, if you observe, what have we done? We are trying to convert all these English statements into pictures, simple pictures, which can help us understand the clues better, right? Yeah. So we don't have to read the data again and again, right? So far, everything has been converted to a picture. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pictures we have got, or maybe more than that. Yeah. Now, N lives on an even numbered floor. N lives on an even numbered floor. What are the even numbered floors? 2, 4, 6, 8. So N will be 2, 4, 6, or 8. 2, 4, 6, or 8. 2, 4, 6, 8. But I can cancel out 8 here. How will I cancel out 8? Because, see, N has to be below R. N has to be below R. Since R cannot be on 9th floor, N cannot be on 8th floor. Are you able to follow? The topmost floor that R can take is 7th. And if N has to be below that, how can N be on 8th floor? N cannot be on 8th floor. N can be on 2nd floor. If R is on 3rd floor, N can be on 2nd floor. If R is on 5th floor, N can be on 2nd floor or 4th floor. If R is on 7th floor, N can be on 2nd floor or 4th floor or 6th floor. So multiple possibilities there. There is as many as floor between N and the one who works in Hindustan Unilever as between M and O. Okay, so between N and Hindustan Unilever, HU, the gap is same as between M and O. There are as many floors between N and the Hindustan Unilever guy as between M and O. M does not work in Patanjali. M does not work in Patanjali. So M does not work in Patanjali. Make a note of it. N does not work in Patanjali. And the last point was N and Hindustan Lever. So N versus Hindustan is equal to M and O. Right? The gap between M and O. This is my understanding convention for, see, you can have your own conventions for solving these questions. Now, when I look at this picture, my understanding is clear that the gap between N and Hindustan Unilever, the gap between N and Hindustan Unilever is equal to the gap between M and O. Is equal to the gap between M and O. Right? So these are all the clues that we have. These are all the clues that we have. Now, how do I start this? You know that there are going to be 9 floors. So let's list down the floors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay, 9 floors. So where should we start with? There is nothing concrete here. All are only with relative positioning. Everything is relative positioning. Like M and U have got 3 floors between them. T and M are together. T and S have got 1 floor between them. S is above R, R is above N, and so on. R and Q have got 2 floors. So only thing that we can use here is to start with either R or N. See, for example, if you start with R, there are 3 possibilities. R is a 3rd floor or 5th floor or 7th floor. N is on 2nd floor or 6th floor or 4th floor or 6th floor. So either start with R or start with N. And maybe start with something that gives you connection to the next clue. For example, I will start with R because the moment I start with R, I'll be able to connect with Q. Between R and Q, there are 2 floors. That would be helpful, right? So I think we can start with R and try. Yes or no? Let's start with R. So the beginning itself will have 3 possibilities, and we can't help. We have to just go ahead with that. So let me list down all the 3 possibilities, right? Again, I write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And what is the 3rd possibility? Again, same 1, 2. Actually, you can avoid writing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 9 each time. You can maybe draw horizontal lines to understand which line is which floor. Yeah. So the 3 possibilities that we have are, we are starting with this R. R works in HMT either 3rd floor or 5th floor or 7th floor. So 3rd floor or 5th floor or 7th floor, and R works for HMT. That is none. I think with regards to companies, it's not going to be a problem because a lot of companies are known to us. S, Wipro, R, HMT, NHCL, Q, Pepsico, TTCS, U, Cognizant. Half of them, more than half of them are already known to us. Yeah. Okay, so 3 possibilities. Case number 1, case number 2, and case number 3. So R, HMT is done. Now let's do NHCL. Is it possible to do NHCL? So I think for case number 1 we can do, because when R is on 3rd floor, the only floor that N can take is 2nd floor. So NHCL, because N has to be below R and he has to be on an even number floor. But in case number 2, N has got 2 possibilities, 4th floor or 2nd floor. In case number 3, N has got 3 possibilities, 6th floor, 5th floor or 2nd floor. Yeah. Now I'm going to use this R and Q. There are 2 floors between R and Q. Now if R is on 3rd floor, then Q has to come on 6th floor. Q works for Pepsi. Right? Q cannot come below R. In this particular case, case number 2, there are 2 possibilities for Q. Q can come on 8th floor. 6th and 7th are the 2 floors between them, or Q can come on 2nd floor. 3rd and 4th floor are the 2 floors between them. Right? So that again is a challenge. But when it comes to case number 3, there's only one possibility for Q. What is that? Q has to come on 4th floor. And Q works for Pepsi. Yes, sir, 2 floors between R and Q. Because Q cannot go above R. So this is a 4th case. I think let's do that, because otherwise there are no concrete clues here. The only clues that we have are all relative positioning, right? In that case, you have to try out all the possibilities. So what I'm going to do is take up the 4th case, which is a duplicate of case number 2. It's actually 2 dash, I can say. Yeah. So 1. So I'm copying 2 here. R is on 5th floor, HMT. What happens? Q either comes on 8th floor or Q comes on 2nd floor. Pepsi, right? Here, Pepsi. Okay. So this clue has been used. Which clue? The 2 floors between R and Q has been used in all the 4 cases. So this is done. We have used this clue fully. You can check any case, we have got 2 floors between R and Q. Okay, now again try to put NHCL. If you look at case number 4, NHCL can come only on 4th floor, because 2nd floor is already blocked by Q. So NHCL. You remember N has to come below R and on an even number floor. So the only possibility is 4th floor. In case number 3, there are 2 possibilities for N, either 6th floor or 2nd floor, either 6th floor or 2nd floor. And in case number 2, there are again 2 possibilities, 4th floor or 2nd floor. Now we are not going to duplicate so much, but let's try if something else is available. What else do we know? Okay, we know that S has to come above R, right? S has to come above R. And S does not come on 9th floor. Okay, try this. I think we've got some clue here. S should come above R. And S will not be on 9th floor. So if you look at case number 3, S has to come above R, but not on 9th floor. The only possibility is S comes here. And then S is Wipro. Case number 1, S can come anywhere above R. Case number 5, there are too many possibilities. Case number 4 also, there are many possibilities. Okay, that's done. Okay, let's progress with case number 3. T and S will have 1 floor between them. So if T and S will have 1 floor between them, T has to come on 6th floor, and T works for TCS, we know. Yes or no? I've used this used this clue in case number 3. And you know that M is immediately below T. So M comes here. M comes here, right? M is immediately below T. Yeah. And then between M and U, there are 3 floors. So 1, 2, 3, U either comes on 1st floor, or 1, 2, 3, U comes on 9th floor. 1st floor or 9th floor, Cognizant. But case number 1, 2, and 4 do not progress. What do we do? Case number 3, we have got enough filling there, but still a lot of other things are left out. Oh, by the way, in case number 3, if you try now, you know that N has to come below R, right? N has to come below R. It can take 2, 4 or 6. So below R, 6th is blocked and 4th is blocked. So N has to come here. HCL. So there's a lot of progress, but we are not sure if 3 will be the final answer. Here again, 2 possibilities are there for N. Case number 2. Should we take those 2 possibilities? So if I duplicate case number 2 again and take the 2 possibilities of N, 4th floor or 2nd floor, N will be fixed everywhere. And then maybe I can use this N Hindustan Lever. So we do not know who works in Hindustan Lever, right? See, we know that U works in Cognizant, U works in, let me just filter out all the filled ones. U works in Cognizant, so these 2 are done. We know that T works in TCS, so T and TCS are done. We know that S works in Wipro, S works in Wipro, this is done. R works in HMT, so R is done and HMT I'll strike off. We know Q works in PepsiCo, Q works in PepsiCo, M and OP are left out. N works in HCL, N works in HCL. So N is gone here, HCL is gone. What else do we know? That is it. Sorry. Now M, O, P are left out. In companies, we have Hindustan, Unilever, Patanjali and Infosys left out. And we know that M does not work for Patanjali. M does not work for Patanjali. So M either works for Hindustan, Unilever or Infosys. Okay, so what do we do? See, you understand, we have already fixed N in case number 1, 3 and 4. In case number 2, there are 2 possibilities for N. So maybe we can duplicate and take N accordingly. Yeah? Or do we have something better? T and S should have 1 floor between them. Let me do one thing. Let me quickly duplicate this, because otherwise there is no concrete clues. You know, we have tried these floor-based puzzles many times in the past. But when there are no fixed clues given to us, we have to go with multiple possibilities. So I'm duplicating case number 2. We have got Q, Pepsi and R, HMT in this fashion. So what I'm doing now is N either on 4th floor or N on 2nd floor, and N works for HCL. So already 5 cases here. So I think this part is done. N, HCL 2, 4, 6. So N, HCL you can see 2 or 4 or 6 always. Yes or no? R is also fixed. S, Wipro is not fixed yet. S, Wipro is fixed only in case number 3. Yeah? So let's try that maybe. S has to come above R. S has to come above R. Okay, let's use these 2 together. See what happens. S has to come above R, and between T and S there has to be 1 floor. S has to come above R, and between T and S there has to be 1 floor. So where can S come? See, can S come on 4th floor? No. Because if S comes on 4th floor, T should come on 6th floor or 2nd floor. Both of which are blocked. So S cannot come on 4th floor. Right? Can S come on 5th floor? If S comes on 5th floor, then T either has to come on 3rd floor, which is not available, or T has to come on 7th floor. But then if you take T on 7th floor, immediately below T M has to come, and 6th floor is not available for M. So which means S cannot come on 5th floor as well. You're able to follow? We are trying to find out the position for S. S cannot come on 4th floor, S cannot come on 5th floor. Why can't it come on 5th floor? If S is on 5th floor, T should be on 3rd floor, which is not available. T can go on 7th floor, available. But if T is on 7th floor, M has to be below T. That again is not possible. You understand? In fact, we are using all these 3 together, let's say. S should be above R, between T and S there should be 1 floor, and M should be below T. So all these 3 clues are being used together. All 3 of them. 6th floor is anyway blocked. Can S come on 7th floor? If S comes on 7th floor, T either goes on 9th floor, which is possible. M can come on 8th floor, or T can come on 5th floor and M can come below this. Possible. So S can come on 7th floor. Yes. Can S come on 8th floor? If S comes on 8th floor, then T has to come on 6th floor, which is not available. Can S come on 9th floor? No, S cannot come on 9th floor. We know that. S cannot come on. So the only possibility for S here in case number 1 is floor number 7. So let's put that S here with Wipro. If S comes here, then T either goes on 9th floor or T comes on 5th floor. Now there are two possibilities for T. So that's again another problem that we have. T can come on 9th floor, then M comes here. T can come on 5th floor, M comes here. Okay, but for example, we have M connected with U. So T goes 9th floor, M comes here. Between M and U, there have to be 3 floors. 1, 2, 3, U can come here. Okay. If T comes here, M comes here. 1, 2, 3, U can come here. That also is possible. Chalo, okay, we'll come back to that later. Let's try case number 2 now. I am hoping at least 1 or 2 cases will get eliminated. So S has to come above R, right? Where can S come? Can S come on 6th floor? If S comes on 6th floor, T has to be on 8th floor or 4th floor, which is not possible. Can S come on 7th floor? If S comes on 7th floor, T has to be on 5th floor. Not possible. Or 9th floor, not possible because below T it should be M. And can S come on 8th floor? No. Can S come on 9th floor? No. So I think case number 2 is wrong. Case number 2 is wrong because we are not able to accommodate S there. S has to come above R. All 4 are getting ruled out. All 3 are getting ruled out. Okay, look at case number 3. Achha, case number 3 we have already fixed S. Look at case number 4. Can S come on 6th floor? T should be 4th floor or 8th floor. 8th floor M possible. Yeah. Okay. So S can come on 6th floor. Can S come on 7th floor? T comes here. No. There. Yeah. S can come on 7th floor. Can S come on 8th floor? If S comes on 8th floor, T has to come on 6th floor. But below that M cannot come. So S cannot come here. So S can come on 6th floor or 7th floor. Look at this. Can S come on 6th floor? If S comes on 6th floor, T has to go there, not available. Or T has to come here. And then M can come here. Possible. Can S come on 7th floor? T has to go on 9th floor, but then M cannot come. Or T has to come on 5th floor, which is not available. Yeah. So I think in case number 5, the only place where S can come is 6th floor. S is Wipro. And then if this is the case, then T has to be 1 floor between T and S, right? So then T has to come on 4th floor. And T is from TCS. Then M will come the floor below that. M is from which company? We do not know. Okay, then between M and U, there have to be 3 floors using this clue as well, right? So only 1 case has been ruled out. Case number 4, let's try again. If S comes here, then T would go on 8th floor. M comes on 7th floor. Again 1, 2, 3, U has to come on 3rd floor. Possible. If S is taken here, then T has to go on 9th floor. M comes on 8th floor. 1, 2, 3, U has to come here. Yeah. So I think S cannot come on 7th floor. 7th floor is ruled out here. Too much of linkages, too many linkages, but just try and understand. If you take S on 7th floor, T cannot come on 5th floor, so T has to come on 9th floor. If T is on 9th floor, M has to come on 8th floor. If M is on 8th floor, then between M and U there are 3 floors. So 1, 2, 3 and U has to come here, but that's not available, which means M cannot come here, which means T cannot come here, which means S cannot come here. So S has to come on 6th floor, Wipro. If S is on 6th floor, then T has to be on 8th floor, TCS. And then M has to be on 7th floor. And then 1, 2, 3 floors, and this should be U with Cognizant. So 4th case and 5th case, there's a lot of development. 3rd case also there is a lot of progress anyway. 2nd case is ruled out. Okay, what else is there to eliminate? We have been able to put U here. 1, 2, 3, U either comes on 1st floor or 1, 2, 3, U comes on 3rd floor or 9th floor. What about case number 1? S comes here, T can come here, then M comes here. 1, 2, 3, U has to come here. Or if you take T here, then M comes here. 1, 2, 3, U has to go there. Okay, that also is possible. Is there any clue that we have missed? There are 3 floors between M and U. U works in Cognizant. T works in TCS, lives immediately above the floor on which M lives. There is 1 floor between T and S. S works in Wipro. R works in HMT, lives below the floor on which S lives. S does not live on any 1 number floor. Yes. There are only 2 floors between R and Q. Q works in Pepsico. That's done. N works in HCL, lives below R. S does not live on 9th floor. Yes. N lives on an even number floor. Yes. There is. We have to use this clue actually. There are as many floors between N and Hindustan. I think T, M, S, R, N, U, Q are marked. Only P and O are left out. Only P and O are left out. Anything given with regards to P? No. So P and O will take first floor and 9th floor in some order. And who's Hindustan Unilever? Who will go in Hindustan Unilever? There are as many floors between N and Hindustan Unilever as between M and O. Okay, look at this. I think we can do something. For example, if I put O here, I'm working on case number 5. If I put O here, look at this, case number 5. If I put O on first floor, between M and O, how many floors will be there? 1 floor. So between M and O, there's 1 floor. Which means between N and Hindustan Lever, there should be 1 floor. But N is here. Hindustan Unilever is not available after 1 floor. So which means O cannot come here. O has to come on 9th floor and P has to come here. Are you able to follow? Between M and O, if I put O here, between M and O there is only 1 floor. So between N and Hindustan Unilever also there should be 1 floor. But Hindustan Unilever is not available after 1 floor. So O cannot come here. If O cannot come here, O has to go there and P comes here automatically. Now, look at this. Between M and O, how many floors are there now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Between M and O, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 floors. So between N and Hindustan Unilever also there should be 5 floors. Yes or no? M is on 3rd floor, O is on 9th floor. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So N is here. Now count 5 floors and take up Hindustan Unilever after that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can Hindustan Unilever come here? No. Which means case number 5 is wrong. Are you able to follow? Between M and O, we have got 5 floors. Between N and Hindustan Unilever, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We cannot have Hindustan Unilever here. Yes, sir? So case number 5 is wrong. Now look at case number 4 similarly. What do we know? Same, between M and O. If you take M, O here, between M and O there is 1 floor. So between N and Hindustan Unilever, there should be 1 floor. No, here we have Wipro, here we have Pepsico. So O cannot come here. This should be P. And this has to be O. Now if you take O in this place, between M and O, we have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 floors. So between N and Hindustan Unilever, there should be 5 floors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not possible. 1, 2, 3, not possible. So case number 4 also comes out to be wrong. You getting me? Between M and O, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 floors. Between N and Hindustan Unilever, there cannot be 5 floors because N is taking 4th position. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hindustan Unilever will go out of the arrangement. So this is wrong. So 4 and 5 are wrong. Yes or no? Yeah, so I think now this clue is gonna leave us with the final solution. Now only choices are 1 and 3. Case number 1 on case number 3. What happens with case number 3? Where did we get stuck there? I think the position of U. If you take U here or U here. Yes or no? U either goes between M and U, there have to be 3 floors. So U either goes on 9th floor or U comes on 1st floor. But then, for example, for a moment, let's assume that I'm not going to duplicate all this. Let's assume that U is here. Let me just explain you what you have to imagine a lot, right? So let's imagine that U is on this floor. U Cognizant is on this floor. Now where can O? If U is here, then where can O come? Suppose O comes here. Between M and O, there is 1 floor. So between N and Hindustan Unilever also there should be 1 floor. Is it possible? Not possible. Yes or no? Between M and O, there is 1 floor. So between N and Hindustan Unilever there should be 1 floor, which is not possible. Which means O cannot come here. O has to come here. If O comes here, then P comes here. This is with the assumption that U comes on 1st floor. Remember, this is not guaranteed. U may come on 9th floor also. Okay. Now, if you take this now, now between M and O, how many floors are there? 1, 2, 3. Yes. So between N and Hindustan Unilever, can there be 3 floors? 1, 2, 3. No. You know, N is on 2nd floor. So if you leave 1, 2, 3 floors, this should be Hindustan Unilever, which is not possible. Which means O cannot come here. Which means P cannot come. Which means U cannot come here. U should not be on 1st floor. You getting it? If I duplicate also, I'll get the same thing. U should not be on first floor. So if U is not on first floor, then the only possibility in case number 3 is U should be on 9th floor. You getting it? U should be on 9th floor. Because between M and U, there are 3 floors. So U is on 9th floor, Cognizant. Now, where will O come? If O comes here, between M and O, there is 1 floor. Between N and N, no. So O has to come here. And P comes here. Between M and O, there are 3 floors. 1, 2, 3. Between N and Unilever, 1, 2, 3. No. Again, still it's not possible. So case number 3 also is wrong. Uh-oh. So back to case number 1. Yeah. So back to case number 1, which had the least number of fixations done so far, right? Okay, so in case number 1, what has happened? We have fixed N, R, Q and S. Now we know that where will T come was the question. T will either come on 9th floor or 5th floor. Okay, so let's do one thing. Let's quickly duplicate case number 1 now, because that should finally give us the answer, right? I'm taking case number 6, which is a duplicate of case number 1 in the current state. Do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. So second floor is N, HCL. Third floor is R, HMT. Sixth floor is Q, Pepsi. Seventh floor is S, Wipro. Right? Now I'm trying to fix this. Between T and S, there should be 1 floor. So either T comes here on 9th floor, TCS, or T comes on 5th floor, TCS. So next will be M. Here next will be M. Yeah. After that is done, between M and U, there have to be 3 floors. So M is here, 1, 2, 3, U, Cognizant. 1, 2, 3 cannot come here. 1, 2, 3, U and Cognizant. Right? Now, same argument again. P and O, positioning of P and O. So suppose O is here. Suppose O is here. Between M and O, there will be 2 floors. So between N and Hindustan Unilever, there should be 2 floors. If N is here, 1, 2, no. HUL cannot come here. So O cannot come here. O has to be taken here and P has to be. You're getting it? Between M and O, there are 4 floors. So between N and Hindustan Unilever also, HUL, there should be 4 floors. Which means HUL should come here, not possible. So this is wrong. Back to case number 1. Okay, so where can O come? If O comes here, between M and O, we have got 2 floors. Okay. And between N and Hindustan Unilever, there can be 2 floors if Hindustan Unilever is working in O. O is working in Hindustan Unilever. Are you able to follow? The possibility is O and Hindustan Unilever, O and HUL, both should come on 5th floor. So then between M and O, there will be 2 floors. Between N and HUL, there will be 2 floors. Yes or no? Let's try the other way out. That is possible. O coming on 5th floor is possible. Let's try O coming on 1st floor. So if O comes on 1st floor, there will be 6 floors between M and O. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Can there be 6 floors between HCL, N and Hindustan Unilever? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, not possible. Yes or no? If you take O on 1st floor, M and O will have a gap of 6. Will N and HUL have a gap of 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, not possible. So O cannot come here, which means O has to come here. O is the one who is working in Hindustan Unilever. Now the game is sorted, because between M and O, 2 floors, S and Q. Between N and Hindustan, 2 floors, R and U. Done. If O is there, then P has to come here. And we also know, so this point is done, we know that M does not work for Patanjali. M does not work for Patanjali. So P has to work for Patanjali. And the only company left is Infosys, which is for M. So that gives you the final arrangement. Here's the final arrangement. And if you think there is a shortcut for this, I'm sorry, there's no other shortcut. Either you try it out like this with all the possibilities or leave it. I read out the arrangement once. We have got 6 possibilities altogether. And finally, the first one itself comes out to be true. The order is from 1st floor to 9th floor. P, N, R, U, O, Q, S, M, T. In the order of companies is Patanjali, HCL, HMT, Cognizant, Hindustan, Unilever, Pepsico, Wipro, Infosys, and TCS. That's the final arrangement.